morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. And how do you do? Ooh, ooh. That's right. This is Edwina B. Free to Hope. Huh? Conversation with me, Miss Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. I love it because my God chose me to wake up this morning along with you. Yes, He did. Yes, He did. There are no coincidences in God's world. You understand? Everything, everything happens for a reason. So you were chosen, and I was chosen for one reason only. One reason only, to be of service to our Creator. Therefore, we are obligated and should be honored to give Him the glory, the praise, the hallelujah, the worship, right? Because of who He is and who He will always be, because all of this belongs to Him. I am so glad I found out the one and only truth. Therefore, I love Him, in love with Him, and learning all I can about Him. And so, if you haven't had your knee bowing experience, it's coming. Oh boy, is it coming. I had mine on February the 22nd, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting high and doing all kind of sexual favors for my own stepson. That's right. We were both 34 years old, suffering from addiction and obviously from mental challenges. Why other we would be engaged in that situation? Hold on one second. Kenesha? All right, that was my daughter. I want to see if she wanted to go to the Wells Fargo this morning to take her girls and my granddaughters to the over the gold event with Simone Biles. Okay, so anyway, at age 34, him and I were engaging in some horrific demonic situations because of our co-occurring disorder of chemical dependency and mental challenges. My life flashed before me. How at the age of 34 did I get underneath a parked car, y'all? My face was literally on the ground. Had I looked up, I would have seen the bottom of the car. And as my life flashed before me, voted to be the one to most likely to succeed, co-captain of the cheerleader team, vice president of my class, wanting to be a model, or actress, a phys ed teacher. I had goals, I had aspirations. But how, at the age of 34, am I underneath a parked car? My life continued to flash before me. How, with my attitudes, behaviors, right, and ideas from my childhood, perpetuated into my teenage years, which perpetuated into my addiction as an adult, that were all negative and all based on lies. Because I did not understand, didn't even know about the spiritual aspect of my existence. It was all based on my humanness. And so my humanness, attitudes, ideas, and behaviors of mine, yours, and the world and society contributed to me being put underneath that car. But no matter what they did, I am responsible for my life. And because I was unresponsible, I asked and cried out to this God that I didn't know, whoever they say you are, take me out now or show me a better way. I was not born to be an alcoholic, a drug addict, a prostitute. I was not born to commit murder as a prostitute because I didn't want nobody to know who the father was of my child. I wasn't born to be raped, passed around like a bucket, spit on, called all kinds of names. I was not born to rob dead bodies and step over dead bodies, nor was I born to see them stacked up in the closets. Nor was I born to witness horrific things, right? That drug dealers and people in control, pimps and all, made fun of people with mental challenges and drug addicts to do unthinkable things just for one more. I wasn't born for that. I was born for what I am doing right now. Being authentic and being transparent and telling you there's nothing wrong with me, but there was plenty that happened to me. As a result, my God did not take me out as a result of that cry. He kept me here for a reason, and that reason is what you are experiencing right now. Yes, right now. I don't have any secrets. I revealed everything that I tried to conceal, and I am healing. I have been set free. From recovery, I have emerged empowered. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I have emerged empowered. Only to give hope to others. All human beings are ill to some extent, and all human beings can benefit from a 12-step spiritual program. You understand me? And so that's why if you haven't had your knee bowing experience, oh, it's coming. Oh, y'all see that? It's coming. It's coming. I don't worry about these dentures falling out. So listen, if they fall out, I'm going to take them out and keep on talking, okay? Because it's about the message and not the messenger. And so these 12 spiritual principles, tools, and resources that I've been using for over 34 years, one day at a time. Thank God he's on sacred time and man is on secular time. It is never too late to say, help me and use me and prepare me for what you designed me to be. Yes, therefore you will join people like me who are in recovery from chemical dependency and mental challenges. We are not bad people. We are sick people trying to get well, and we are. Okay? All right, so let's go. First of all, I need to turn this fan on. Wait a minute, y'all. I need to turn this fan on, and I need to open up these windows again. I ain't gonna say trying. Well, want to be considerate of others. See, I'm 68, soon to be 69, and I get these hot flashes, right? And so my house is cool. Yes, it is. I got just about every window up, right? Even in the wintertime, because of the transformation that's happening as I get older. Okay. And I'm glad I mentioned that because I took myself to the doctors yesterday, right? Because I've heard of vertigo, and these last couple of about 2 or 3 weeks, I've been experiencing dizzy spells, or something ain't right. My balance is off, and honey, guess what? I'll be the first to make an appointment to find out what the hell is going on. I believe in being proactive, right, rather than reactive. And so it was not determined that I had vertigo. He said something else, but I'm good. He said I'm good, and I said good. I got my vitamin B12 shot. I got a cortisone shot in the other shoulder, and this one that is still in repair. The repair process is coming along. So I'm grateful that I pay attention to the only vessel I got and to take care of it. I know now that this is my temple, but I also know and have learned that various spirits can occupy this vessel. Before I got into Alcoholics Anonymous, those spirits used, abused, right, manipulated me into doing what they wanted to do until the God that created me said, that's enough. Like my mom would say, get your hands off my children. Get your hands off my children. And that's how I know that I was chosen. Because my creator, who I didn't know then, who I know now, says that's enough. I am going to use Edwina the way I planned to use her. But she, like you, needed to go through the process of not just needing me, but wanting me. And I know Edwina wants me because she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I love her. And I'm so glad he does. Okay? So let's deal with our topic today. Okay? A couple days ago, we talked about, right, the acid test. Meaning, can we stay in emotional balance, stay sober, and progress spiritually in all conditions? If it wasn't for the 12 Steps program of Alcoholics Anonymous, along with the 5 agreements by the Uiz family, the spiritual songs of inspiration, consolation, meditation, and education provided by my buddy, Dr. Benjamin Twimby Brown. Y'all know he died in my house in January, and we are still planning a celebration for him in the month of November, which is Gratitude Month, right? And so also with the teachings of my pastor, Dr. Christopher Allen Bullock at Canaan Baptist Church, and my First Lady, Dr. Debbie Bullock. Yes, I've been a member of that church for 19 years of my 34 years in a spiritual program. So the selection of my religious affiliation came through a dream. And I thank God I was led and I was obedient to join Canaan Baptist Church under my shepherds, the Bullocks. I love my first family. And then I was introduced to Dr. Sonia of P3 Global. And y'all know I am a spontaneous person. I am a go-getter. I'm a shaker, a mover. Listen, I put my all in all to everything that I do, especially when I've been directed by the Holy Spirit to go right instead of left, or to go left to help somebody come right. That makes sense? So I love being used. Bill Withers, use me up. Y'all know the song, right? All right, so let's get to our topic for today. The acid test we're doing. And then yesterday's topic was, what was it? Okay. Oh, I have it here. Yesterday's topic was, hold on. Becoming something. All right, wait. Let me get it up here. All right. So it wasn't that one. It was, yes, serenity after the storm. Okay. And so many of you know that in Alcoholics Anonymous and practicing these 12 spiritual principles, tools, and resources, we are prepared for any and all storms that come on this earthly journey called life. We were born into a sinful world with a sinful nature. So it does what it's supposed to do. However, what I've learned and want to convey to you, that these challenges are growing challenges and often come with a lot of pain. And we perceive them as storms. And why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? It's all for a reason. Nothing happens by mistake on this earthly journey. Nothing. Because I've learned that I can learn from every experience, every choice, every decision that I make or that is made for me will evolve into what? Either I go with it or I yield from it and yield to the Holy Spirit and not to the dynamic spirits. You know what I mean? Okay. And so as a result, it says, right? Serenity, right? From the storm, after the storm. And so by using all these spiritual tools, I know a storm is coming. That's the way life is, right? And that's fine. I've learned to embrace the storms. I've learned to embrace the pain. I've learned to embrace the process of spiritual growth and spiritual wisdom and spiritual development that is not intended to be easy. No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. Okay? And so, serenity from and after the storm. That was our topic yesterday. Okay, so our topic for today, right? Let's get to it. Let's go back here. Our topic for today is entitled, right? A time for pruning. What does that mean to you? A time for pruning, right? So, this is what I want you to do. I want you to hear me first because that's all you can do, right? Because you have these ears and, the body is made up that you can hear. But after you hear me, I want to recite it so that you can listen to me. Listen to every word. Listen to the feelings and the emotions behind it. I want you to listen with your spiritual ears. And in some cases, I have asked you to even close your eyes when you are listening. It makes a difference. Hear me first. Say repeat as often as I need to until you listen, because listening implies action. Okay? So this is our topic for today. Let's go. All right. It says here, let me put this back down. Okay? October the 4th, AA Daily Reflections, a time for pruning. We know that the pains of drinking had to come before sobriety and emotional turmoil before serenity. From the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions off of page 94 is where our co-founders took this quote. The person in recovery shares his experience and strength and his hope by stating, I love spending time in my garden, feeding and pruning my beautiful flowers. One day, as I was busily snipping away, a neighbor stopped by. She commented, oh, your plants are so beautiful. It seems such a shame to cut them back, I replied. I know how you feel, but the excess must be removed so they can grow stronger and healthier. Later, I thought that perhaps my plants feel pain, but God and I know it's part of the plan, and I've seen the results. I was quickly reminded of my precious AA program and how we all grow through pain. I asked God to prune me when it's time so I can grow. Woo, woo, woo. All right. I'm going to read it again. This time, close your eyes and listen. A time for pruning. We know that the pains of drinking had to come before sobriety and emotional turmoil before serenity. I love spending time in my garden, feeding and pruning my beautiful flowers. One day, as I was busily snipping away, a neighbor stopped by. She commented, oh, your plants are so beautiful. It seems such a shame to cut them back, I replied. I know how you feel, but the excess must be removed so they can grow stronger and healthier. Later, I thought that perhaps my plants feel pain, but God and I know it's part of the plan, and I've seen the results. I was quickly reminded of my precious AA program and how we all grow through pain. I asked God to prune me when it's time so I can grow. Huh? Huh? Hmm? Huh? Huh? Did you hear that? Did you listen to that? I I had no idea what the spiritual aspect of my existence was all about. And so going through to get through and come through the ills, turmoil, catastrophes, right? The ups and downs, the turmoil of situations and circumstances and people, and even myself contributed pain to, was very uncomfortable with, right? That I had to go through in order to get through, in order to come through. Yes. As long as I was feeling happy, joyous, and free, so I thought all of the time that that's the way life was going to be. What a rude awakening. Why? Because of that serenity prayer that I keep talking about. I had to learn, internalize, dissect, evaluate, analyze this prayer, because I always got stuck and trying to control you and everything else. What an illusion, as the 5 agreements talks about. What an illusion. And in their opinion, this is all an illusion. We are actually living out our dream when we are awakened, and we continue to dream has no boundaries while we are resting. And so it is really all an illusion. Now, it took me some time to understand that, but I understand just a little bit better, right? And so as a result of not knowing about the spiritual aspect of my existence, it was designed for me to go through some situations that I could not change, even myself. And so that serenity prayer has helped me immensely. God, not man, God, grant me serenity, peace, tranquility. God, grant me the serenity. That's the key word. To accept the things I cannot change. Y'all hear me? Do you hear me? Are you listening? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. How much pain have you gone through in trying to change people, places, and things? How much uncomfortability, how much anger, how much resentment, how much hostility, right? Anger have you experienced in trying to change something you are unable to change? I thought I could stop myself from drinking. I thought I could stop myself from prostituting. I thought I had the power to change myself from smoking crack. I thought I had the power to switch this, and that, right? Okay, I'm glad I thought that. And I'm glad I tried that. But to no avail. Over and 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 over again. Thinking that I had the power. My ego and pride tried to convince me that I had the power. My dad said, you are responsible for what happens to you, how you deal with it. You. Not no God, not no man, you. And so that illusion that I had the power to change any and everything at my beck and call, my beck and will. In spite of the obvious that I couldn't, but I was going to try again. Just like I tried again to get that first feeling when I drank, to get that first feeling when I smoked crack. It will never, ever come again, but I continuously tried to chase it. What a spiritual experience that brought about a spiritual awakening that produced a spiritual breakthrough. Now that I cried out for help, knowing that I can't change anything, not even myself, to this creator who I didn't know, to help me, to take me out this life or show me a better way. So I have serenity now, right? From my creator to accept the things I cannot change. And I do need to add the word practice. Practice, practice, practice. Not like the Ivor Iverson story, right? Practice. Asking God to give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and then accept them. Accept them, right? And then the second part says, as for courage, courage to change the things that I can, right? Courage. When we did our fourth and fifth step, we recognized what the exact nature of our wrongs were. And 99.9% of the time, the exact nature was fear, is fear, right? Fear, fear, fear. What we say, what we don't say, what we do, what we don't do, right? In some way, shape, or form or fashion, it is based out of fear, of not, of wanting not, of yes, of no, of going, of not going. Fear. So I'm asking this God to give me the courage to change the things I can. In other words, I'm asking him to eliminate the fear, right? So that I can change the things that I can, right? What's mine? What's his? Give me the courage. I'm still using my God. Give me the courage to change the things that I can. That makes sense? Right? So that's a type of pruning, if you will. And then the third part, right? Give me the wisdom. See, I'm asking for serenity. I'm asking for courage. Now I'm asking for wisdom to know the difference. And the things I need, I must accept because I can change them. And courage to be made aware of the things that I can change. And so without asking for wisdom to know the difference, I fall back over and over again to the same trap, which is, it is what it is. Nothing happens by mistake. No. There are no coincidences in God's world. None. Everything happens for a reason. And there's a time and place. And later on, it will be revealed to you later, not now. I can attest to that. I had no idea that I would be sitting here before you 34 years later, age 68, soon to be 69, talking to you, sharing with you about my journey here on life without spiritual principles and now with spiritual principles. Why? Because I cried out for help once I had my one and only knee-bowing experience, okay? So let's decipher this bad boy, okay? Let's see, it's 7:01. All right, so let's see here. It says, we know that the pain of drinking had to come before sobriety. All right. So, okay. So we now know, right, that drinking, drugging, prostituting, all of that, which we did, are doing, can still do, must come before the restoration of soundness of mind, the spiritual transformation, the spiritual experience, the spiritual awakening that will produce a spiritual breakthrough, right? So those things that we have been, are, and will continue to be, right, a part of this sinful world with this sinful nature, has to come, will come, destined to come before we obtain and realize that there is help available and be relieved of those ills, right? And so that's why I would not be here. I would not be sitting here. I would not have written my book From Crack to Christ being underneath this parked car, right? Had I not gone through that situation. All right? And so it's through pain that we grow. It is through pain that we change. It is through pain that we begin to see the light. It is through pain. Having a child, oh my goodness, what a beautiful, beautiful journey and experience. Until that pain came. Mm-hmm. And boy, oh boy, y'all ladies know what I'm talking about. But y'all too can relate to something that was so painful that you were delirious. You couldn't see the light. You couldn't, right? But it was through that pain of delivering the most precious gift that God gave all of us was the quickest pain we forgot once we saw the results. But let me tell you this. When I got pregnant a second time, the first thing I thought of was that pain. I told you I'm transparent and authentic. I was like, oh my, I got to go through that again? Woo! It wasn't happy, joyous, and free. Oh, hell no. I got to go through that pain. Whether I wanted to or not, I was going to go through it. Yes. So you see, right? So anything that we want to be delivered from, right? We have to go through the pain before that outcome can be achieved. That's just the way of the world. But the difference is applying spiritual principles, choices, and tools to all of earthly matters. Okay. So then he goes on to say, right? And emotional turmoil before serenity, right? Emotional turmoil, right? How can we learn from our experience? How can we learn from other people's experiences if I and they did not share the journey of emotional turmoil? When we go to our Alcoholics Anonymous meeting on a regular basis, whether virtual, on the phone, right? We have no idea. We have no idea what's ahead of us. And even if we do think we know what's ahead of us, that's our perception because we don't have any control of a lot of things, right? And so when I think about the process of emotional turmoil, I have to, number one, acknowledge I'm in emotional pain. I'm in emotional turmoil. Two, I now know how to embrace it, right? I know where I am. I know what I'm feeling. I need to embrace it, right? And then I need to apply spiritual principles to that emotional turmoil. Why, where, when, how did it happen? Can you explain it? Let's examine, let's do an inventory of that emotional turmoil that I'm in. Using the serenity prayer. Asking, what did I not accept that I needed to? In that situation, it happened. I can't change it. I need to accept it. Emotional turmoil is when I don't want to accept it and I don't want serenity because I want to feel my anger, my hurt, my frustration. I want revenge. I want to retaliate. That's my choice. That's my decision. But before I got into Alcoholics Anonymous, I didn't recognize that there were other choices, decisions to be made that was of a spiritual nature and not reacting from my human nature. That makes sense? So that's why we have to go through, to get through, to come through, to gain some understanding on a spiritual aspect of life, why these things happen, why we need to accept them, why we need to pray for courage to change what we can, and most importantly, to ask for wisdom to know the difference. Okay? And so emotional turmoil must come before right? Before serenity. Makes sense to me. And so the person shares their experience, and there are millions of people in Alcoholics Anonymous and 12-step programs, but there are 6 point something billion people here on earth. And that's why I know people like us, for this particular path, was chosen for a particular reason by our Creator, right? There's no why me no longer. Why me? Oh, pity me. Oh, no, hell no. No, no. God, what am I supposed to learn from this? What is the spiritual message in this experience, this situation? You see what I just did? It was AA's Alcoholics Anonymous, but it also can stand for attitude adjustment. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness are the key factors and the key ingredients to this 12-step spiritual program. To thy own self be true. Huh? Open-minded so that I cannot believe that it's my way or the highway when there are 6 billion people in the world. Or yes, you that self-centered and that selfish. Yes, I was, but no longer, because I know that I only know what I know. You know what you know. You know what you know. Let's come together and tell everybody what we all know and come to a common denominator that brought us together for the spiritual solution for us to be set free from recovery, emerge empowered so that we can give hope to others, help others prosper equally. Okay, so he says, I love spending time in my garden, feeling and pruning my beautiful flowers. Now, I can relate to that, but not to the garden part. But I can relate to spending time in the areas that I like, right? And that helps me to have this awesome experience, right? And theirs is in the garden, feeding and pruning their beautiful flowers, right? Then he says, one day as I was busily snipping away, a neighbor stopped by. She commented, oh, your plants are so beautiful. It seems such a shame to cut them back. Now. So this is where we become open-minded, and this is a good example. So this individual loves gardening, and he knows the result of pruning. He knows the result of timely pruning in order to make his plants grow and be healthy. He did not always know that. So that meant he had to go through some trials and tribulations, and why his garden wasn't doing this and why his flowers wasn't doing that. And he began to do his research. So he went through pain in order to find out, oh, they need pruning, they need air, they need room to grow. And so this woman did not know his journey and only see the what is perceived to be very painful to those flowers. You are messing up the beauty, right? He understands, but she doesn't. And that's why we cannot get hung up on what people say or think about us, because they don't know the journey. I don't know the journey of an individual. I can't criticize or I can't judge, right? No, I don't know their story. I don't know their journey. All I see is my present perspective of who they are, and they can only see and perceive what they think of me. They don't know the journey. So that makes sense. So why should I say, man, you don't understand. You need to mind your own. No. She's only coming from her perspective. So why should this guy take anything personal? He shouldn't take it personal, right? And so what he did in love was to give her an answer, because she said, it seems, right? It seems, right? Meaning that she was opening herself up, to learn, right? Because she said it seems such a shame, right, to cut them back. So it seems to her. But then what did he do? He replied, He said, I know how you feel. That's where empathy comes in at, right? So he knows how she feels because he felt the same way. Okay, so instead of judging, criticizing, empathize for someone. Try to find how you can relate, how you can identify, to get in touch with their feelings, right? So that they can understand. Yeah, you do understand, and they will be more willing to be receptive of the information, your experience, your strength, and your hope that you have to share with them. Share with them, not give them. Share with them, right? Okay, and so he says, I replied, yes, I felt the same way, right? And he said, but the excess must be removed so they can grow stronger and healthier, okay? But the excess must, I got to tell y'all a story about that, but the excess must be removed so they can grow stronger and healthier, right? And so if he's the gardener and these plants, right, follow the natural spiritual process of what our Creator intended for them to go through, that this pruning is necessary, right? They're not statues. It is life. Oh my God. It is life growing. It is life evolving. It is life. Oh my God. I'm getting so emotional because God is about love. God is about living, right? Even the plants, right? Even these little critters, the little ants. I mean, tiny little things, right? It's life. It's life. It's life. Lord, I love you. And so he's saying that because I went through what I needed to go through, to get through, to come through, to prune these flowers so that they can grow stronger and healthier. That makes sense? Okay. Then he goes on to say, right? Later, I thought that perhaps my plants feel pain. Okay. So he shared, with himself later, what he used to think, that his plants used to feel pain. And guess what the plant said? Honey, listen, I got some more roots. I got some more flowers. I got some more growing to do. Cut me. I understand the process. You may not understand the process, but yeah, no. Do what you're supposed to do. Okay. And so he goes on to say, right? But God, and I know it's part of the plan, and I've seen the results. So most of us don't know or see the outcome of God's plan, right? We were not privy to have that awareness and that opportunity, which is good. Which is not just good, it's the way it is. How about that? Accept that. It's the way it is. It's none of my business what the outcome is going to be, because I don't have control over the outcome. So when I make decisions or I make choices and I perceive what the outcome should be, expectations will disappoint you every time, because you don't have that control. Even if you think you have that control. And the moment you think you have control, you are already out of control. Okay, so I got a few more minutes. So then he says, right? I was quickly reminded of my precious AA program. Let's stop there. I was quickly reminded of my precious gift of Alcoholics Anonymous, y'all. This is the program that God destined me to be a part of. This is the program. These are the spiritual principles, tools, and resources within a spiritual fellowship that my Creator allowed me to go through life, right, until I had my knee bowing experience so that he can place me where he know he can grow me. I love Lord, I love, right? And so this sobriety, this gift is so precious to me. Oh my God. There's nothing I put in front of my God or my spiritual program. Nothing. Without them, and I'm going to say God created it, right? So without my God, right? And developing through divine intervention through our co-founders and other people, right, to learn from the two previous movements of the Washingtonians and the Oxford group who almost had the answer, but they fell victim to their humanness. And that's fine because that's what happened, right? But Alcoholics Anonymous, as a result of a conversation with Dr. Carl Jung, right? That says, people with y'all disease, medical, religion can't help none of y'all. No, not at all. What y'all need is divine intervention, divine providence. You need a psychic change. You need a psychic change. You need a psychic change. Lord, I just can't help it, y'all. I just can't help it. I just can't help it. I'm so glad I was chosen, right? I got to get out of here. I'm so glad I was chosen, right? And so he goes on to say, right, reminded me of my precious AA program and how we all grow through pain. Oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus, right? Pain is my friend. Pain is my friend, y'all. Pain is my friend. Yes, it is. Pain is my friend. Yes, it is. Pain is my friend. Just by adjusting my attitude and look at the reason for pain. It's all spiritual in nature, right? And so going through pain prepares me for the God-given outcome that's designed by him. You know, the baby thing. Man, them contractions were something. Oh my God, they were something. But as soon as that baby came out, we forgot that pain and what a joy of the outcome. And so when I look at what this program has given me, going through the pain of even getting here, going through the pain of even growing in the fellowship, going through pain has become my friend. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And then he ends by saying, right, I ask God to prune me when it's time so I can grow. Huh? Don't you just love this? I know I do. And I can only speak for myself, right? But I can also speak for those 200, 300, 500 people who may see this now and see it later and comment on. And I'm just at awe that I was able just to help one person. I shared with the pastor the other day, that, our goal is just to help one, each one teach one, just to help one. And so how can I help anybody if I'm not allowing this God to prune me of those negative defects and those things that keep me from being of service to him? Prune me when it's time, and your time, not my time, when it's your time, so that you can continue to use me, Lord. Lord, I love you. I love you, Lord. I just love you, Lord. I just love you, Lord. I just love you, Lord. Yes, I do. I just love you, Lord. I just love you. And I thank you for this precious gift of life. And the fact that you accept me just the way I am, and that you love me just the way I am. And I thank God that I know I needed you, but Lord, I want you. I want you like nothing else, nothing else, nothing else, because you give me the joy, the peace, and happiness in these 12 spiritual principles, tools, and resources to apply to all earthly matters. And I thank you for that, because I am living my heaven here on earth. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I acknowledge my humanness, but I also acknowledge what part of me can control this humanness. And that's the spiritual information I get from my Creator. Edwina, wear the world like a loose garment. You may be of the world, but you're not in the world. That stuff didn't make sense to me. Why? Because the student definitely wasn't ready, and other teachers taught the student of a demonic nature. But when the spiritual student became ready with that knee bowing experience, the spiritual teachers appeared. Okay, I got to get out of here. All right, so I love you. You better know that. And I'm going to practice to the best of my ability to practice using these spiritual tools, resources, and principles in all area of my life. All areas of my life. So that I can be the light of the God that resides in me in order to attract you. So that you too can use them to be set free. From recovery, emerge empowered, so that you can give hope to others, help others prosper equally. I love you, you love me. We are one big old family with a great big, oh, look at this song, with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Ooh, I see you, mommy. I see my mommy looking at me. I love you, mommy. I love my daddy too. I love you, Lord. I love you the most, because everything I am, everything I have belongs to you. Have a blessed day. Be of service to others. Allow yourself to be pruned in God's time. It is for a spiritual reason. Be safe.